we are going to bring in now Bob Roberts. He is the president of Corktown Business Association. I remember when the first order was issued back in March. I was signed up to do the run there in Corktown. It's one of my favorite 5Ks to do. Corktown is it's a party on St. Paddys Day, to say the least. And when the state got shut down, I remember thinking there's no way that Corktown is not going to have a St. Paddys Day celebration. But it was shut down. What has it been like for Corktown to try to survive this?
Well, and in addition to being president for the Business Association, I'm also a partner with McShane's Irish Pub, and we're right at the corner of Michigan and Trumbull there. So I speak both as a president and as a restaurateur, and as I'm sure you can appreciate, restaurants have probably been the most negatively affected by the shutdown and just the pandemic in general, because we made it through the shutdown, and then we got reopened, and then we got 50% reopened, and then some of us that don't serve food got re-shut down. So we have several of our members that have actually been shut down since March 15th. So those members in particular are struggling, and quite frankly, there's several that probably will not ever reopen, which is very unfortunate.
And you think about the stories. I mean, these are not numbers. These are real people who put their life savings into starting these businesses, and out of their control, it was taken away. They're trying to struggle. Going forward, we're hearing now so much talk about the second surge, and the numbers are increasing each and every day. As a business owner and as the president of the Corktown Business Association, when you see the headlines and you see those numbers, does it cause you to panic and worry about if the state of Michigan gets shut down a second time?
Absolutely. So that's on the minds of small business people across the state, I'm sure. We watch the numbers every single day. We talk amongst ourselves. So all your small business people, we're planners, right? We look for the next holiday. We look for the next opportunity to promote, to market, to advertise. In my business here, we're always projecting out, not what's going to happen next week, but at least a 90-day. We do at least a 90-day projection on any of our marketing and big events or days coming up. So we're definitely big time planners in the small business realm, and just to, as you stated, to have zero control over your destiny at this point, after you've put blood, sweat, tears, your money, your relatives' money you've borrowed, put that into your business, and then be shut down and have no control over that, but also no real control over the immediate future. And your guess is as good as mine as to what the metric is used that would declare a second shutdown. Those metrics, whatever they're using, aren't shared with us, which is also somewhat frustrating that we don't have that ball or that carrot in front of us to know. It's just so open-ended as to what could trigger that second shutdown. So it's on the minds of small business people every second of every day right now.
Yeah, Bob Roberts with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast. He's the president, Corktown Business Association, but also a partner in McShane's, which is such a popular Irish pub there in the Corktown area. I think about out here in the suburbs, we have so many of the small restaurants as well. There has been a huge community push for people to buy local and to support our businesses so that you can remain open, or for the ones that closed, help bring you back. Have you been able to get any of the loans and the grants that have been offered by the government? Because while people see the headlines, they're not so easy to get.
No, they're not. They're not easy to get. We were fortunate that we did receive the PPP loan, the payroll protection loan, in the beginning, which was a substantial amount of money, for us. So that definitely helped. We did also. We were just granted and have not received it yet, but granted one of the restart loans as well. Those are the only two loans that we applied for. I guess that I felt that we were in a little bit better situation than some of our other businesses. And so rather than apply for something that we really didn't need at the time, those are the only two loans that we've applied for so far. And luckily we're able to get both of them. And we just thought we'd leave the money out there for other smaller businesses that might be hurting a little bit more than we were.
That's very considerate of you, because when this first came out and you saw the headlines, so many of these really big companies and some of their CEOs that were making millions of dollars a year, when it came out that they got those loans over some of the small businesses such as yours, in which they were intended for. Not so good PR for some of those companies as their names were exposed. Some of them gave them back, not all of them, but like you said, you were looking out for some of the businesses that maybe hurt and needed that money a little bit more than yours. And with that, I think about St. Paddys Day. This happened right around, like you said, March 15th, right before the big St. Paddys Day celebration last year. As a business owner, and you said it's about planning in that next event and advertising, how much of your business and the businesses right there in Corktown are tied to that once a year St. Patrick's Day celebration?
Yeah, so there's several of our smaller, bars like, Corktown Tavern, the Gaelic League, comes to mind in particular, LJ's. That they really, really rely on that. And of course, we're fortunate we get Parade Day and St. Patrick's Day in the same week, where so we have a double celebration. And quite frankly, there's many people that tell you that if it wasn't for those 2 days, that they really wouldn't be able to survive throughout the rest of the year. They use, it comes at a great time. Where they use that money to pay their taxes, pay for their liquor license, pay for their City Detroit business license, their personal property taxes, those types of things. And that kind of, that's the shot in the arm that allows them to survive throughout the rest of the year. So losing those days, it was, particularly detrimental to, obviously to the state and to Detroit, but in particular to the Corktown community.
Bob Roberts with us. He's the president of the Corktown Business Association, joining us today on the Oakland County Megacast. And Bob, with everything that has gone on and continues to go on that affects these businesses locally, particularly the restaurants, what does your organization and what are your organization's members currently doing to try to attract some customers in, or to promote the need for people to continue to patronize businesses, particularly small businesses in our local area, as the pandemic continues to bring new complications and even bring back some of the old complications over time as well?
Sure. So a lot of our businesses have pivoted in different ways. We have, as an example, Brooklyn Street Local. She has remained open, but her dining room, because it is so small, shut down the entire time. And so what she started, Devery started to do is more of a home meal replacement plan, for local residents or anybody that would want to make the drive over to, to pick up complete reheatable meals. So that, that's one way that she pivoted. We have another small restaurant that actually pivoted into they installed a walk-up service window from the sidewalk, and then put in outdoor seating and a tent, and then really created a market, a fresh market inside what used to be her dining space. And again, she was doing the same thing where you could, call and pre-order meals. You could call and pre-order meals for the entire week. Plus, while you were there, you could, shop for some, fruits, vegetables, some really nice canned sauces. So you could get some pasta and a jarred, still homemade but jarred sauce. So you can make a dinner. And so she pivoted in that way. So there's been a lot of ingenuity with some of our people. The biggest thing that we're concerned about now, and again in particular for our restaurant members, is winter. Keeping our dining rooms at 50%, and then because of both the city and the state of Michigan initially both did a fabulous job with licensing temporary outdoor service areas, allowing us to serve liquor there. We have several streets that we have shut down. We have sidewalks that we shut down to allow outdoor seating. We have city parking spaces that we've been able to utilize for outdoor seating. Unfortunately, there's been a little bit of drag of the feet, both by the governor's office, the liquor control, and even now our city health department, in first off extending, because those areas are set to expire on November 30th. So we've asked that they extend those at least through the first quarter of 2021, those outdoor service areas. They have not done that yet. And then even equally as important is, of course, as restaurateurs, we want to tent and heat those areas. And we're equally running into some problem with our local health departments because of airflow inside the tents and whatnot, with them allowing these outdoor service areas to be tented. So we really need some assistance. The Michigan legislature wrote a joint meeting to the Liquor Control Commission expressing how important it is that we get these outdoor service areas extended and that the restaurateurs are allowed to tent. And they used a statistic that if that does not happen, it is their estimation that you will see about 4,000 restaurants close permanently and a loss of about 100,000 jobs.
Bob Roberts with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast. He is the president of Corktown Business Association and also a partner in McShane's Irish Pub in downtown Detroit. And with that, Bob, as we go into the winter months, the one thing, once the governor's executive powers were wiped away after the Supreme Court ruling, things did switch over to the health department. But we do have the legislators that are now trying to work together to try to get some of these new orders mandated. How much faith do you have in our elected politicians, especially the ones sitting in Lansing right now, making these decisions and making them in a timely manner that is going to help businesses such as yours and the others there in Corktown to keep your doors open come these harsh winter months? Because even if you're able to have a tent and close it with a heater, it's still going to be hard for people to linger out there for a long time, which we all know the longer people stay, the higher their bill is going to be. And so therefore that's going to have a direct impact on your bottom line.
Right. Yeah, so there was a survey that was done by Eater Detroit, and there was 63% of the respondents said that they would be more apt to eat in a tent outside still than to eat inside. So we still feel that the tents are an important part, or actually a vital part. Again, I have members that have tents or outdoor service areas currently that have said that if they're not allowed to continue with those outdoor service areas by tenting them, that they will actually have to close their business for the winter, and hope to be able to hold on long enough for the weather to change, and then hopefully have enough money to relaunch. So it's definitely, it's definitely going to be a deal breaker. Though there's, Bobcat Bonnie's is a good example. The only reason Bobcat Bonnie's reopened, we were allowed to reopen in June 7th. Bobcat Bonnie's did not open until I think around August, and the reason that they didn't open is because at 50%, the math just didn't make sense. So the only reason that they opened is because we were allowed to achieve a street closure for them, and they were allowed to, they were able to put up a tent and have one of those temporary outdoor service areas. So I can't stress enough how vital it is that we need, and the legislature actually has recognized it, and as I say, wrote a letter. We really need the Liquor Control Commission to extend these outdoor service areas at least until the end of the first quarter of 2021 to get us through the cold weather, and then hopefully we'll reevaluate that and see where we're at in the pandemic and whether or not we're still at the 50%. If so, we'd ask them to extend it indefinitely as long as we're at a reduced capacity.
Bob Roberts with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast. Let's hope for a very mild winter, and that you're able to get those adjustments that you need for the outdoor dining situations, because it is hard right now. There's a shortage of tents as well as heaters and things of that nature. So even if you get that extended, you're going to be running into those issues as well. But we wish you and all of the businesses there in Corktown the best of luck. It's such a favorite destination for so many people. Corktown is more than just a place to go for lunch or dinner. It's an experience, and it is the fabric of the community there in that corner of the city of Detroit. So, Bob, thank you for being with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast.